it's Kelly from Loch Briar Knits. Welcome to my little corner of the universe. It is episode 97 and it is May 15th, 2021. It is actually a very warm, beautiful, sunny day here in Nova Scotia for a change. So I got out early this morning and actually cleaned out my front garden. So I'm feeling like very industrious already. I did a little knitting. I don't have a lot of knitting to show you today because I was having some like real pain kind of coming down here. I actually, I stopped knitting for, I think 2 days. It was so hard. There's a part of me just saying, just push through the pain. And then, you know, the logical side of my brain was not a good idea. So I ended up taking about 2 days off from knitting. And then when I kind of went back at it, I would just do like a little bit at a time. But I did break out Carson Deemer's book on knitting ergonomically. I'm doing this because I'm going to try to remember to put the name of it down below. It's like a big book, but it's got so much information in it. Anyways, he had some like exercises to do for your hand. So going forward, I'm going to do those kind of before and after each knitting session just to see if it helps. And if I'm going to be sitting knitting for a while, I'm going to kind of break it up, like even if I have to put like a little timer on and every 15 minutes, just kind of do some stretches. Just to see if that helps, because I don't want it to become something that's chronic or something that, God forbid, prevents me from knitting, because there'd be no living with me. So I have my cup here from My Little Shop Canada. I can't remember if this is the one I had last week or not. I might have had the bear, or not last week, last episode, 2 weeks ago. I might have had the green one with the bear on it. But this is my newest one. Isn't it pretty? Look at the detail. Oh, I love this color. I have another one coming. I couldn't resist. It's similar to the one that I got my sister, and when I was kind of repacking hers for her to pick it up, I was like, oh, I really like this one too. So I had to get one. I mean, I had to, like my life depended on it. It's all relative, right? I'm drinking my usual lemon thriller tea, which I have not been able to find. I'll set that down. At my grocery store, the last few times I've gone, and I'm starting to panic that they're not making it anymore. But that would be really stupid for President's Choice to like stop making a lemon tea. That's sort of like a staple tea, isn't it? They have lemon ginger, but it's not the same thing. And some people don't like ginger. I like ginger, but I want my lemon thriller tea. It's like the best lemon tea ever. I will be penning a scathing memo if they've stopped making it. So I do not, like I said, have a lot of knitting to show you. I am just itching badly to cast on new projects because I feel like I get nothing done in the sweater. I feel like I've run out of steam on that, which is ridiculous because I have like that much of one sleeve and then the second sleeve to do and then the neck, and I'm done. Like, so it's not going to take a long time, but I don't know. I want to cast on new sweaters. I want to cast on the ranunculus, and then there's also like probably about 5 other sweaters that I really want to do. And I want to knit with some of my new yarn, like my, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can grab it. Like I've got some of the Bio Balance from BC Garn, and I've got some of my Hypothesis yarn. I've got, there's just so much. There's too much. I say there's too much. My Illimani Echo Llama, which I made my puntilla out of. Oh my God, I love this. So there's like a lot of yarns that I haven't tried yet, that I haven't knit with, that I really, really want to cast on and knit with. And right now, the sweater I'm knitting is from Wool of the Andes, which I love. But I've used that before a lot, so I just want to try something new. It's spring. Maybe that's why. Spring. I want to try something new. So, need more tea. So yeah, I don't have a lot to show. But I do have a project that I'll have to cast on soon that I'm really not looking forward to. Well, I mean, I am in one sense, but in the other sense, not so much. And I'll show you why. Let's do that first. So my mom asked me the other day, I don't know if that's the right word, told me the other day, I popped up for Mother's Day, not to see them, but to drop her gift on the step because we're in lockdown. So then she opened the door. So we like have this conversation between the car and the door. Anyway, when I dropped my package off, she had this bag for me because what she said she wanted was for me to knit her a super simple summer sweater. Because I showed her the pattern and she'd seen my sweaters and she really liked it. But she said she wanted it a little longer than kind of the more cropped version. Not that it's super cropped, but she likes her sweaters kind of longer. But she wants me to knit it. She had the yarn. Basically, the present isn't so much the yarn or anything. It's just doing the actual knitting. But here is what she has picked. Now, I don't like pastels. I don't like them at all. Like, you'll never probably find me wearing a pastel. When I'm knitting for myself, I don't want to knit with pastels. I find them, for me personally, kind of bland and boring. No offense to anybody that likes them, that's just my preference. But she also wanted it knit out of BERNAT Softy Baby, which is an acrylic yarn. Which, it's been a long, long time since I've knit from acrylic yarn. So, yeah. So she gave me her measurements, and then what she did was she gave me her favorite sweater. Which is this one, which actually, honestly, is kind of, it's like white and sort of like an icy blue, which I do like. Like, I would totally wear this sweater. Just to give me a sense of, like, she loves the fit of this sweater. So the only, well, aside from knitting with kind of acrylic yarn, which I prefer natural fibers, and the colors, which are not my colors, which is fine because it's not for me, which I keep saying. But you kind of want to enjoy the colors of what you're knitting, even if it's not for you. That's my theory. Tell me if I'm wrong. But the other thing is that I have never knit a sweater for anybody but myself. So I'm a little nervous about how it's going to fit. Like, am I going to be able to get the fit right? I mean, I know I have her measurements, but I'm just a little worried that I'm not going to be able to get it to fit right. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, worst case, it doesn't fit. And we go back to the drawing board. Please don't. I think I really want it to fit because I don't want to go back to the drawing board and have to knit with this yarn again. It's not my favorite yarn to use. I've used it before. I'm just not a huge fan. If I were going to use acrylic yarn, I would use the one, it's, I think it was called Vanna's Choice. I have a lot of that one upstairs. I haven't used it in years, but I've knit with it before and I liked it. So if I were going to knit something out of acrylic, I would probably choose that. I just find it a bit of a higher quality, but we'll see how it goes. And I think what I'm going to do is cast it on sooner rather than later, because I would like to kind of get going on it, but I don't want to have it be the only sweater project I have. I want to be knitting a sweater for me too, because I'm a very selfish knitter. That's how I roll. So I'll probably, if it's May, yes, it is May, not if it's May. It is May. So say if I go June, July, August, September, October, November, if I target 6 months and I target like a stripe every 3 weeks, maybe. The good thing is it's kind of all really in one piece. Like you just put the sleeves on hold and then you just go back and just knit like kind of straight down. Like it's really simple, super simple. It's a super simple summer sweater pattern. So that's gonna have to get cast on soon. But I also, where I'm having these issues with my thumb, I don't want to overload myself either. So I'm thinking what I might have to do. Usually what I'll do is I'll get up in the morning before work and I'll do about an hour of knitting, and then I'll do maybe about an hour, hour and a half after supper. I think what I might do for now is cut out the morning session and use that for my writing. And yeah, and then that will give my hand a bit of a break, and then just keep doing my stretches and see if that helps. So I don't even know if it's knitting really that caused the problem or if it's bad ergonomics from working at home. Because I noticed when I am knitting, I'm really not using this thumb a lot, but that doesn't mean that the positioning of my hand isn't causing stress, even if I'm not like actively using the thumb. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So that's what's going to get cast on. The other projects that I've been working on are my half and half wrap. So I did finish the gray side. So if you've been watching, you know that the gray side is not all one shade of gray because I had one skein of the stash. I pulled the gray from my stash, deep stash. I didn't even have the ball bands left. I had no idea what the brand was, what the makeup was, although I'm pretty sure it might be a cashmere. And I thought that all of the colors were the same, but it turned out one was a much lighter gray. So you can kind of see here the lighter gray. I think I'm holding that up right so that you can see. Yeah. So it's fine because it just looks like a nice stripe. But then I realized I was not going to have enough of the gray left over because, again, no ball bands, so I didn't really know what the yardage was. But I assumed they were 50-gram balls and it was fingering weight. So I assumed based on that, it would have been enough. It was not. So after I exhausted my supply, I went in search of a gray, and the only gray I could find was kind of more of a brown gray, like brown tones in the gray. The skein color was, oh, but then, sorry. And so I had a ball like about this size. And when I realized how much I still had left, I realized that was not going to be enough. And as I looked at it a little more closely, I realized I'm pretty sure it was a DK weight, possibly, which everything else is fingering weight. I gotta fix my sorry, fix myself. So I went back to my stash and I did find, no, it's not there, but I did find an almost full skein that had been caked up. That was also kind of a brown gray. It was like the Illimani Echo Llama skein. And the color was gray, but it was definitely like a brown gray because of the llama. So I decided to use that. So here it is. And you can kind of see, I'm gonna hold it up like this. You can kind of see the difference. So my gray half, let me see if I can get this back. Here's what it looks like. It's kind of stripy and it's really noticeably brown gray. So, it's massive though. I mean, honestly, look at this thing. So, this project did not quite go as I had envisioned when I started. But at the same time, I do like the kind of stripy look to it. So I don't hate it. Like I like it. It just, you know, wasn't quite what I had in mind. But I'm okay. We're rolling with it. So the other, if I can find the, so anyways, I did finish that. And then I can find the end here. Thank you. We are. I started the second half, which is like a nice kind of deep red. It's the Barn Red Heather from Knit Pick Stroll Tweed. So it's got these nice little like tweedy bits in it. And I really love the look of the two together. I should say the four together. So I am coming along on that. I'm like got that much done. This is like a really addictive knit and it's going to be massive. Like it's going to be massive. Which I knew going in, but knowing it, actually like seeing it when you're knitting, but it's great because if it's a little cooler, I have it down on my legs. It's keeping me nice and cozy. And then when you get up and you kind of like remove it, you realize how cozy it was keeping you because then you're like cold. So that's kind of where we are with that. I've just been putting a little bit of love into it here and there, trying not to go overboard because this is super addictive. Yeah. And it's one of those, I actually am making faster progress on it than I thought that I would be. Like I thought it would take me longer to do it, but again, it's one of those projects where you start working on it, it's really hard to put down because it's just like mindless garter stitch. So I'm on the first ball of the red. I will have plenty of the red because I have 2 sweaters quantities and this is like what's left of the first messy ball. So I'm not worried about running into the same issue that I ran into with the gray side. And I would definitely make another one of these. Like, it's just like a really nice, relaxing knit. So it's in my loop bag, which is possibly covered in dog hair, from my local store, The Loop. And that's kind of the big project, but I also did some work on my loose sock by, and I think I forgot. Oh no, wait. My glasses. Did I put them? Oop. It's by Casual Fashion Queen, which is Sheena McNeely. It's a paid-for pattern. It's very simple. It's and what I didn't follow it completely. I ended up doing, like, I followed the oops I followed the pattern for the leg, and then I just switched over to doing my own heel flap gusset, and stick those there. Nope, that's a bad idea. Heel flap gusset and foot, and I'll just follow my own pattern for that. So, and I don't think I made it as long as hers, but here's the thing, it's supposed to be a super slouchy sock. So I did, I cast on, like I normally cast on 56, and I cast on 70. But I don't know how slouchy that's going to be, because it's fairly narrow. So I don't know. But it was a very relaxing knit. It's like a very simple knit. And I knit this out of my own yarns, Loch Briar Knits. And this is the September Morn colorway from 2 years ago, maybe. So I love how it's knitting up. And it's in the, my cashmere MCN base. But you know what I just noticed? No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Where's my glasses again? I was just like, it's so soft. It's got to be the cashmere base. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, it is. And I think they're both, I hope they're both the cashmere base. I just kind of grabbed them out of my stash and I didn't. No, yes, they are. Oh, this was from 2018, the 2018 version. All of it. So graceful. Whoop. I can get a little tag in there. Little tag. So yeah, so I've still got like a lot left. This isn't even like hardly dented. So with I think for the ones that she knit in the pattern, or in her pattern, she used 2 skeins of yarn, I think pretty much fully. And I'm kind of wondering, I think I might be able to get 2 socks out of this 1 skein, which means I still have a whole other one left. So we'll see. I'm kind of tempted to start from the second sock from this one. I guess I'll see. I'll wait and see how much is left when I finish the sock, and if I don't know if it's going to be enough to do the second sock completely, I may switch to this one just so that I don't have to like weave in ends halfway through it because I just, or like, you know, oh my God, words. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to have to start a new ball halfway through the sock, basically. So, and then I can just add, I can do like another pair of shorter socks, regular socks, out of the 2 balls that are left. So that's my thoughts. So that's kind of what, yeah, that's what I love this. I love how it's knitting up. This is one of my favorite colorways. I just love it. So yeah, so that's kind of really all I've been knitting on, but I am just getting so crazy itchy to cast on something new. And I was going to say, because I haven't cast on anything new in a while, but technically that sock's kind of new. But I want like a, I just want something new. I just want something new. I feel like I want to be knitting a sweater, and I have a sweater to knit that needs to be finished, but I'm kind of like bored of it right now. But I don't want to set aside. I hate leaving things unfinished. Like, I hate it. It just like picks at my brain. So I think I'm just going to suck it up. And oh, I got something in my hair. Big Gray watch 2021. We're getting there. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, I hate leaving things unfinished. So I think I'm definitely going to finish it. And maybe I'll try to finish it this month so that I can just get that done, off the needles. Then I can cast on a new one for me and my mom's. My husband made some noise about a sweater too. He went into enough detail to tell me what kind of collar he wanted. So I'm guessing that's maybe something I should look at doing. So I have a feeling this is going to be a short episode because there's really not much going on. But I do have the patterns that I showed in the last episode that I really want to cast on. Like, there's the ranunculus, there's the one by, I always get this church mouse yarn. That's kind of like the sleeveless tunic that I want to do. There's just so much. There's so much. I'm kind of getting itchy to cast on another shawl because I want to start using up like some of the stuff here. Yeah, so that's really all that's on the go. It's kind of a quick episode. Let's see what else is going on in other news. Oh, I got my first dose of my vaccine yesterday, so that was good. My arm feels like somebody kind of knuckle punched it a bit. It's not too bad. It's like you can feel it, and it just feels like you have a bruise there, but there is no bruise. It's just kind of sore. But other than that, like, I felt fine. I didn't have any other side effects. It was like a really slick operation, the way they had it all set up. Like, the setup they've done for their testing and their vaccines have just been phenomenal. Like, hats off to them. We're still in lockdown. I think we probably will be for another, I'd say another month. I think we're going to at least another month to bring the cases down. They're starting to come down, which is really good. But we still have a ways to go to get kind of past the third wave infestation. And a lot of people are getting like their vaccines now. It's down to I think it's the 35 and up now are getting vaccinated. And then I expect at some point next week, they'll start 30 and then, you know, so it is getting done really quickly. I think they expect everybody to have their first dose by June. June-ish, sometime in June. End of June, maybe? I don't know. So that's really good. So yeah, so that's kind of like, there's really not a lot going on because we can't go anywhere. We watched, what were we watching on TV? We watched Shadow and Bone on Netflix, which I enjoyed. I actually ended up buying the books. I kind of hesitated if I wanted to or not, but I think by the end of season 1, I was like, yeah, you know what, I think, because there's a lot in the series that I thought would be, I think would have been more beneficial if I had read the book first. I would have known what they were talking about and kind of how the layout of things worked. But I mean, it was fine. I still really enjoyed the series. But the one I am addicted to is on CBC Gem, and you can watch it for free, or you can, like, I think pay $5.99 for a, I don't know if it's monthly or whatever. They have like a ream of documentaries, but they have this show called The Doghouse, and it takes place somewhere in Britain, somewhere, I think they said it's in the country, somewhere in the countryside of England. And it's this like huge dog shelter, and it's like rehoming the dogs in the shelter, and the stories of the people, and the story of the dogs at the end, you know, that they're taking home or that come into the shelter, and all of this stuff. It's just, I'm so addicted. I have like been binge watching it, and now I'm trying to slow it down because there's 2 seasons and I don't want it to end, so I'm trying to slow down watching it. But that's about it. I'm still reading The Starless Sea. I have not been picking up a book lately, and I don't know why. I think but I've been going to bed, which is usually when I read in the evenings, and I've just been so tired that I've just been crashing and not doing any reading, and I'm so close to the end. And I hate leaving gaps between when I pick it up, because then I've got to stop and think, wait, what was happening? What was going on? And it's just, yeah, I got to get back to reading. So let's see what else is going on. Nothing. That is it. I did actually close the shop for while we're in lockdown, so that I'm not making trips to the post office that I don't need to be making. But I am doing a wholesale order for Darn Yarn, and they carry my yarns, so I'm doing up a new wholesale order for them that I should have done in a couple weeks. And then there's also my yarns are at bystitchable.ca, so I'll leave those links down there if anybody wants to grab some of the yarn. You can check it out there. And that is it. That's literally all that's going on. I feel like this has been a really uneventful 2 weeks. so I'm gonna let you guys go. Oh, actually, and I didn't bring my computer down. There's a podcaster called Soxy Nana. Her name's Alice. She's out of Manitoba. I think she's in Winnipeg. Anyway, she tagged me and asked a bunch of questions, and I forgot to bring my computer down so I could actually read those off. So I will try to remember to do that next time. And that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all I have. So I will let you guys go, and hopefully in 2 weeks' time I'll have a little more knitting done if my thumb will allow it. And until then, happy knitting, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.